The road from Kumasi to Lake Bosomo was quiet that evening, wrapped in the golden glow of the setting sun. The trotro had dropped Oma at the dusty roadside, and she adjusted the strap of her small bag before walking down the narrow path toward the cabin. The cabin wasn't big. It was built from dark wood, with a tin roof that sang whenever the rain fell. In front of it stretched bosomed were round, deep, mysterious. Oma had come to escape. After months of clinical rotations in Kumasi, long ward rounds, crying mothers, emergency nights, she needed silence. The cabin belonged to her grandmother, Abina Sawa. Bosomed is not just water, Abina Sawa used to say. It listens. That first night, Oma sat on the wooden porch with a cup of chilled sobolo. The moon reflected perfectly on the lake surface. Varieties of sounds could be heard: crickets, water, wind, and then, singing. Faint singing of a lullaby. Oma frightenedly stood up. "Hello," she called. The singing stopped. She brushed it off and went to bed. The next night, it came again. Her heart pounded as she walked slowly toward the water's edge. The sand was cool beneath her feet. An old woman sat there in white cloth, silver hair long against her back. Next thing Oma saw was an eerie hands holding her feet and dragging her while she screamed. Weeks later, on that same quiet road from Kumasi, a white bus sped toward Lake Bosomo. Inside, 7 friends laughed loudly over blasting music. Snacks passed from hand to hand. None of them noticed the sky darkening faster than it should. None of them knew the cabin had been listening long before they arrived. Ahead of them, beyond the palm trees and the still water, the wooden cabin waited. The sun sank behind the palm trees of Lake Bosomo, and the lake glimmered gold, calm and deceptive. The cabin creaked softly in the evening breeze. The crew had arrived and was excited about cabin. Akosawa was drawn to the lake. She waited a while before entering the cabin. At night she was awakened by a sound and went out to investigate. Out of nowhere a creature emerged from the lake and killed her. The next morning the group realized she was nowhere to be found. It was definitely something she would do, even at their school's hostel in Accra. She would just leave and return another day. They waited till evening and realized she had gone missing. They sat around the porch, voices low, uneasy. They tried to call her but there was no cell service. Efia shook her head. "No. I can feel it. Something is wrong with this place." They decided to look for her. They walked beside the lake and out of nowhere 2 creatures appeared and dragged Nana into the lake. The lake fell silent and the rest ran for their lives. Meanwhile Kobe and Efia ran into the forest beside the cabin and stood there in shock trying to grasp what had happened. Unfortunately another beast caught up with them and ripped Kobe's heart out. Efia ran as fast as she could and met up with Oma, Yo and Kwesi. The 4 were scared to their bones and frightened. They tried to block the exit in the cabin for safety. Then all of a sudden, the place became quiet. A very creepy silence. They thought it was over. But the horror was far from over. Night had swallowed the cabin completely. Only 4 friends were left. Efia, Kojo, Kwesi, Oma. The others were gone. The cabin felt colder now, like something was watching them. Oma hugged herself tightly. "We need to leave this place." Kojo checked his phone again. No network, still nothing. Suddenly, a loud splash echoed from the lake. All 4 turned toward the window. Kwesi whispered nervously. That came from the water. Before anyone could react, the cabin door slammed open. Cold wind rushed inside. Then something moved in the darkness. Kwesi was suddenly pulled backward into the trees. His scream disappeared into the forest. Now only 3 remained. Kojo grabbed the car keys. Run! They rushed outside toward the car. Oma tried to follow, but the creature grabbed her. Her scream echoed across the lake. Kojo slammed the accelerator. The car sped away from the cabin. Minutes later, they reached the highway. Safe. For now. Efia looked back at the dark forest behind them. They thought they were finally relieved. Out of nowhere, a tall creature appeared on the road and they panicked and crashed. What was supposed to be a fun vacation had turned into a horror massacre. The next weekend, a family of 4 arrived at the cabin for their vacation. In the evening they sat at the dining table to have dinner, unaware of the terror that comes out at night.